Everybody says that relationships make you money. And while that is true, it is really important that we are not just making connections or developing relationships just to make money from people, that we actually want to develop like friendships and things of that nature. And so today, I want to talk about ways to cultivate healthy relationships. Now, I know you're here on my channel because you want to know about ways to make money. And this is definitely one of those ways to make money, but also a way to enjoy as you're making money, once you've made money, and all the things. Because the thing is that it's great to have a lot of money, but it can be lonely at the top. If you're the only person that's up there, nobody knows you, nobody intimately is there in your intimate space, whether it is a partner or it is your friends or just someone you can rely on for the good days and the bad days, then why is it even a goal to even get up there, right? So today we're having a conversation about relationships and friendships. And so I wrote a book. It's called Before You Quit Your Job. You can get it on my website, KeenKelly.com. But on the inside of that book, I talk, very intentionally about relationships. I talk about how it is important that on your way up, you don't just get rid of everybody you've always been friends with, and that you also make new relationships on the way up, and then you make relationships as you are up there. Let me explain that. So you're going to have wherever you are in life, you have people or a person that is around you that knows you. They know the good, the not so good. They know the secrets. They have all the memes. You have the secret conversations, all that type of stuff. You have those people that you can rely on to just be able to talk to. They are come to your rescue or whatever that is. So one of the people that you want to make sure that you keep around you are those people. So my friend Joy, we have been friends for 20 plus years. Okay. And so she knows all the things, like just all the things. She knows more things than my mom knows, than my sister knows, than any intimate partner has ever known, because she has just been with me for so long. And it is really important that as you are going along in your life, and if you're an entrepreneur in your business, that you are keeping those friends and you're learning the art of keeping those friends. But it's also important that as you are on the entrepreneurship journey, that you are opening up your space for new people to be able to befriend you. It can be scary, but you want to make space for those new people. Now, it is going to be a process with new people. I have learned that by trial by fire, right? Where I've shared too much, I've opened up too much, I've given too much, I haven't given enough, I haven't opened up enough, all that in the quest of developing new friends. And so that is going to be a process. And we're going to talk about a little bit of that, as we go along. But then you also need people who are just up here. Like you are just like, wow, how did you get there, right? Remember that, was that a Coolio song? I'll see you when you get there. I can't remember whose song it is, but some of y'all know what I'm talking about. So you want to just get there, right? It's today I met with a brand new mentor of mine. He is just extremely, extremely, extremely successful. And I'm just sitting there with him I am so glad that you are here. You know what I mean? That's one of those relationships. And I'm not just there to just take from him. I want to add value of who I am to his life. I can't add money to his life, but I can add me. And he ain't ever met nobody like me, right? And so he needs somebody like me in his life, in my humble opinion. I'm just saying. Right. And so I'm recognizing that yes, he's going to bring a lot into my life, but I also get to bring things into his life that he just does not have, that have nothing to do with money. But when it comes to developing all the relationships, where it's the ones you've had for the longest period of time, you're developing the new ones, or you've got the big ones up there are three things that I feel like you definitely have to put in place. Number one, boundaries. Okay. Boundaries. Now, I know that the word boundaries has a bad reputation, but it's not a bad thing. Here's what I've learned about boundaries. Boundaries don't keep people out. It's not a wall. It's not like you cannot cross here. Boundaries is a door, okay? It's here is the house, which is me or you. Here is the door to that house. And then I am going to give you the key to get into the door. You can try all the keys you want, But unless you use my key that I have given you, then you are not going to be able to go into that door. And when that looks like boundaries, is it's like, how do you invite people in? Okay. For example, one of the boundaries that I have when I am developing new relationships is I will give someone my telephone number and I will say to them, hey, I would love to give you my number. Let's just talk friend stuff through that. Don't call or text asking about business stuff because I really don't like doing business on my phone. I like to do it on email or on Zoom meetings. So this is the way that you can kind of come in, and I want to be friends with you. So like somebody recently I met at an event and I was messaging her through Instagram Messenger the entire time we were there. And then I said, hey, here is my number. I promise if you text me, I'm never going to ask you business advice or business questions because I was like, I'm just setting the boundary for her to know that I'm not going to do that to her. And she was like, oh my God, I appreciate that so much. And I was like, because I get it. And guess what? We talked a little bit of business through text message because like we just decided to do that. But nobody is reaching out saying, give me this advice. Give me this advice. Because we set the boundary of like, here's the entryway into this relationship. And it's healthy because if you have a way of living your life and whatever, and people are constantly hitting this thing that you haven't set the boundary with them, then it's going to kind of cause some friction with the relationship if you are not actually sharing, here is how to come into my space, right? That's kind of like, if somebody comes to your house for the first time, most times they won't know what you don't enjoy people doing at your house, right? But it is important that we have our own boundaries or how we behave at other people's house. So you're not going to see me go to somebody's house and immediately open up doors, closet doors, cabinets, and refrigerators. No, you're going to see me like come in and be like, should I take my shoes off? Can I sit here? And just trying to see what it is that how they want me to be in their space, because everybody has their own way. If they say make yourself at home, that doesn't mean do what I normally do at home at their house. That just may be a phrase that they are using. I will still say, can I grab me something to drink? And if they say yes, I'm like, okay, can I use the bathroom? Which bathroom would you prefer me to use? Because sometimes they have multiple bathrooms, right? So I have a bathroom right outside of my office and I have a bathroom in my bedroom. And I would prefer people to say, which bathroom should I use? And I would prefer them, of course, to use the guest bathroom because I'm sitting on the regular one on a regular basis or whatever, right? It's just a boundary, okay? And so that's kind of how you want to come in with relationships. So like today I met with my new mentor and we went to like a country club where he's a member, his office is there and all that. And I had no expectations for him to pay for anything. So when he was trying to pay for valet, I said, no, it's okay. I got it. And when he asked me if I wanted something, I said, well, I want some orange juice. And then I offered to pay. He said, I got it. I said, okay, thank you so much, right? I allowed him to pay, but I had the expectation that I was going to pay. Does that make sense? It kind of reminds me of people that go out to eat and they get all this food, all these drinks, and they expect to split the check. And it's like, hey, that's not actually healthy for friendships, because if you got all this stuff and you're expecting everybody at the table to split what you just ate, and you're not actually having a conversation with people to see, can people do that or do they want to do that, then that's kind of unhealthy. That's just my personal opinion, because I don't drink alcohol, and when I go out to eat, 99% of my friends drink. And so when they say, hey, we're going to split, and I said, hey, I don't want to split, you guys had a lot of alcohol, I don't drink at all, and they all go, okay. So that's me constantly setting the healthy boundary. I'm glad to be here, I love to be here, I don't drink and you guys drink that. That's a lot of money they racked up on that bill. You know what I mean? So it's just healthy. The second thing you want to do is you want to make sure you're communicating your needs, okay? And letting them communicate their needs, because no matter what relationship it is, whether it's someone's been around for a while, a new person, or someone that's up here, you have to be able to communicate your needs. Otherwise, you may have these expectations that are not communicated. Or people are like doing all these other things for you, and that's not actually what you need. Like, for example, I'm getting ready to have a pretty big surgery, and I have about 20 people that want to support me during the time of healing. And so I am already setting the boundaries of what that looks like. So somebody is flying in, and we're like, okay, she already knows I'm 42 years old. Don't mom me, even though you're going to support me. Don't mom me. And she gets it. You know what I mean? She's like, yeah, I mean, you're grown and you don't, whatever. So, whatever. In case you're watching, girl, hey. right? But also, there are all these other people who have never been in my intimate space, who have never been in with me when I am not feeling my best. And I have to communicate what are my needs, right? And one of my needs, and like, I'm going to figure out how to say it, like in the message and all that, is going to be, hey, when you come to support Kenya, one, she doesn't want you to make food. So don't feel like you got to go and make a bunch of food because she doesn't typically eat a lot of people's foods. I'm very particular about food. It's just a thing, right? My palate is just like likes what it likes and don't like what it don't like, right? But more so is when you come into the space, here is how you can support me. One, you can say, hey, how can I support you while I'm here? Not sit down, do this, not telling me what I need to do, right? Not saying you need to eat or try whatever, but it's saying, I want to come and I want to support you. How can I support you? And then I can communicate. So one of the things that I need help with is this, this, and this. This may not be a fun thing, but the cat box is dirty. Is it possible where you can, if you can bend down, I can dump it, right? Because like I can't do the whole bending thing or whatever, and I can communicate. Here's actually what I'm in need of, right? And by me doing that, that's gonna help the situation, right? And it's gonna keep me from being upset if everybody's trying to fix, because I'm gonna have like some of my Christian friends are gonna be there, and oftentimes people in general, when something is uncomfortable, they try to fix things. They try to say whatever these things to make them feel good that they think is going to make you feel good, but it's typically to soothe whatever uncomfortable thing that they are dealing with. And so I'm going to have to communicate to them of like, use these types of words with me. Don't use these, right? Like, don't just use this stuff just to say you're going to be fine or whatever. It's like, how do you feel? What do you need support with? Or whatever. Does that make sense? And just communicating that. So I had a gentleman that was asking me, well, like, what do you need in a relationship? And I'm like, okay, well, here is what I need in a relationship. And he gets the choice of choosing, like, can he provide that in a relationship? He also gets to communicate what his needs are. And if I can be a support in that, then great. If we both recognize I can't be that for you, or I just can't, then we're like, okay, the needs have been communicated. They cannot be met. We will not continue on in this relationship. Does that make sense? So that's going to be really important. And then the last thing that I feel like you need for relationships is finding like-minded people, okay? Like-minded people. That doesn't mean that you agree on everything, right? So like, I am who I am. I'm a strong Christian, and not all of my friends are Christian or strong Christians and have strong stances on different things. Like some of my friends are extremely political. I am not. I am an independent, right? And so like-minded people does not mean that we're both Democrat or both Republican or both independent or that we both believe ABCD, whatever. You know what I mean? It just means that you've got people who, when push comes to shove, can understand that, hey, we don't agree on this, and that's okay. We can move along with that, right? So I had a disagreement with somebody last week. We were in a setting and I was sharing something that I'm doing it and the reason why I'm doing it. And then the person was like, oh, okay, I can see that. And then they just dump in all the reasons why what I want to do is not going to work, what I shouldn't be doing, and how people like me always, she's just going on and on. And I was sitting there like, what is going on? Like, you came in on this conversation and you are just raining on my parade. And I was able to say, hey, here's how your rant is making me feel. You want to be right in all of this stuff, but you're wrong. You're wrong in how you are approaching this conversation, because this conversation has nothing to do with you, your opinion, or your experience. I value you. I value your opinion and your experience, but I am not asking for that right now. And you're just dumping on me, and it does not make me feel good. And she was like, oh, snap. And I was really nice about it, very calm and peaceful about it. And she was able to go, I can see that. I am ranting. I am on my soapbox. I am really sorry. And the like-mindedness is not because we agree on what I wanted to do or what she wanted to do, but we agreed that the relationship is more important than me being right or her being right. And we were able to go, okay, settled, done. Like-minded people that can level themselves out, that even when you disagree on something small like what we were talking about, or something major like war or politics or death or religion, right? We are able to go, We agree or we don't agree, and that's okay. People that can handle all those types of things. You need them in your life. You need people that can agree with you, disagree, but are able to come back to normalcy and be like, all right, everything is great. Because why? Because it just keeps everybody at a level playing field. It keeps the relationship healthy and all the things. Okay. So if you're on a journey of getting mentorship or mentoring, creating new friends, or trying to keep, connection with old friends, then it's really important to keep those three things in mind. If you enjoyed this content, I would love to know it. Like, I do content like this on every Friday, and then my business and marketing content is every Monday and Wednesday.